Hello folks, this is Roz, and we are here today with a Gate Crash Shield event, and we're going to take a look at what kind of stuff we open. I just want to mention real quick too, if you guys haven't checked out the Twitch streaming that goes on with the Mtgnoob, make sure you go ahead and do that, because it is hilarious. I actually finally got the chance to check some out recently, and I really enjoyed it. It's something different. It is something different. Like I said, you can find it at the Mtgnoob.com. And let's see what we have here today. That's a Prime speaker who is pretty darn good. Illusionist Bracers is probably not so good. And we have two Clan Defiance? Really? Wow, and a Fathom Mage. And a Stolen Identity. And this guy's terrible. And a Sacred Foundry. Way to pull me into Gruul Simic. Because all these are very good. Clan Defiance is obviously just exceptional, and like Fathom Mage, you can slip that in there pretty easily, I guess. Stolen Identity and Prime Speaker are both good, but I don't know about the double blue cost. Let's look what we have to support this stuff, as we do often. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw the stuff over to the side that we don't want. All this is looking pretty good. Two Zarichi Tigers. These guys have kind of grown on me. They're not horrible. I should say they're playable. We'll give them that. Two Assault Griffins is fine. Aero Maneuvers, two Syndicate of Tithes. Everything over here is actually really good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. Like, two Syndicate of Tithes is good. Two Assault Griffins. Over in blue, which is like what we're looking at splashing here. Sapphire Drake is fine. Totally Lost, Leyline Phantom. A pair of Last Thoughts. I would never play two of these, I don't think. So we'll just put like one over there for right now. Hands and Binding, Sky Games is no good. And a Sprite. Okay, so this is okay. Like, the stuff I'm most excited about over here is probably like this Hands of Binding or this Metropolis Sprite. This other stuff is okay, but it's really, like, Leyline Phantom is great if you have the right deck for it, but we'll see what else we can get in the green-red area. It looks like white is, like, always my deepest color recently. I don't know why. Anyway, in black, Shadow Slice, pair of Syndic Enforcers is fine. Two Midnight Recoveries, no. Like, one Midnight Recovery I might play one day in the right deck. Corpse Blockade, Dying Wish is probably a no, and a Gutter Skull. All this stuff here is okay, but black is looking really shallow. Red looks pretty good. Let's take a look. Towering Thunderfist, Shanktail, Marked for Death is like, maybe I'll play that. Massive Raid, Warmind Infantry, Crackling Perimeter, only if you have the right amount of gates. Hey, all the skin brand goblins. As the Mtgnoob himself would say, it's all the skin brand goblins. I don't know if I really sounded like him or not. A Mugging's good, though, and so's, well, this Foundry Street Denizen is, like, okay. But triple skin brand goblin is pretty awesome. Triple Adaptive Snatjaw is not so awesome. Double Flutterhorn, though, is nice. Tower Defense is, like, sideboardable against some kind of crazy flyer deck. Spire Tracer, like, we don't really have anything to support this guy. He wants cool enchantments and things like that. Like, Burst of Strength is okay. So, moving onward. Oh, man, Boros is going to look good here. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Oh, two Wojak Halberdiers and a True Fire Paladin. Pair of Beckon Apparitions is not really so impressive. 1,000 Lashes is really nice. Executioner Swing's fine. Zertoss Swine. Yay. Gruul Charm. Pair of Bioshifts? Nah. An Urban Evolution is fine for Simic, as is the Krasis and the Shambles Shark. Simic's looking pretty lackluster here. Paranoid Delusions, I wanted this card to be playable, but it just doesn't seem like it can get you there. Duskmantle Guildmage is pretty cool, as is Dimir Charm. Okay. So, we do have a Prophetic Prism. We have a trio of Boros Guild Gates and a Sacred Foundry. So, I don't feel bad about going Boros and splashing the green, just we're missing out on like a lot of good stuff over here. Boros is looking pretty darn good though, and I'm not like a huge fan of Boros, but we gotta kind of go with whatever we get here. I don't know why Aurelia is still up here. Go away, Aurelia. You're not the card I'm looking for. I want something else to be the right card. Okay. Apparently just Aurelia is like all you get to see right now. I can't get her off there. Why is this not working? Fine. Aurelia it is. Then get out of here. I don't need you. Okay, so Boros, Gruul looking okay. I don't want to really say goodbye to all this good stuff over here, but for right now we will go ahead and check out. Actually, we'll put all this stuff over here in the pile of things. But we'll see what a Boros deck with some Gruul looks like. So what would we have in our Boros deck? I guess we'd have like some Assault Griffins, some Syndic of Tides. Maybe Boros isn't looking so good. We don't have like any Skyjicks or anything like that. And you don't really want Smite in a Boros deck. Like we would have that, and like this Shanktail, and this, and this, and this, and this. All these guys. So it would look something like this. That is a pretty wacky. That is a pretty wacky curve there. I mean, a pair of Slaughterhorns is good, I guess, for Boros. That looks fine. But this is what we would be looking at for the Boros Gruul deck. We could probably even get away with 16 lands and putting in something like a Gruul Charm. Like, play 24 playables and put in like 16 lands. I don't know how like impressed I am with this Foundry guy. Like, maybe I just want to take this guy out and like put in a Zertos Swine or something like that. Or maybe I even want to just take this guy out and put in like a Burst of Strength. There's not like a whole lot of other stuff. Like, Mark for Death could be, or not Mark for Death, Crackling Perimeter could be funny with the fact that we have 3 Boros Guild Gates. I mean, we could put the Prism in there and take out something like this Denizen. Actually, that might be pretty good, because that would probably ensure that we have the colors that we need at the appropriate given time. I mean, this isn't like an amazing Boros deck, but it's pretty good. I mean, you can't really argue with like a bunch of Skinbrand Goblins and a bunch of Wojak Halberdiers and everything. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It has pretty good removal. It's got the right amount of, you want at least probably like 17 creatures is what I like for Boros. It has some pretty decent tricks. Why am I taking these goblins out? It's got Gruul Charm, which is good for the big finisher. Got some removal. Like, this is what it looks like. And that's not terrible. Like, we're kind of heavy on the 4-drop area, but I don't feel too bad about that. It's totally possible that like I do want 17 lands in this because of all the 4-drops, but I don't know. I mean we do have some mana dump cards with Clan Defiance, so I mean maybe I do want it like that. Like I could take out, oh, what would I take out? I mean I guess I could take out the Prophetic Prism maybe and run 17 lands. I kind of like the Prophetic Prism though. Anyway, so this is one of the things that we could be doing here, and I feel okay with it. It doesn't look too shabby. Let's see what else we can do. Let's look at, let's see here. I mean, I guess we could look at like Simic Dimir, like Simic Splash Dimir, something like that. Like, what would that look like? I mean, Sapphire Drake is okay. These are good. Like all this isn't great. Well, that's not supposed to be in there. And like we could put that in there. Man, there's just not a lot here for Themtgnoob. Like, I don't want to play like 4 adaptive snapjaws. We'd probably have to put in like another color. How about Themtgnoob? Let's take a look at that. Like, let's get these guys out of here. Themtgnoob. Let's see. How about a little bit of this, a little bit of this. That guy. Yeah, Themtgnoob might have something like a holy mantle. That might be pretty cool. Pulpit is a definite possible guy. You want all the extort you can get. That's good, that's good. By the way, with the other one, I mean, we could have put like the Fathom Mage and the Prime Speaker in, but I was not seeing enough playables, really. Obviously, these guys have to come out. Let's see. I mean, I guess you'd play something like a Skulk. And then like a Stolen Identity. Man, that's not looking really so good either. Man, I don't think I really like anything here but Boros Cruel. Everything else is just kind of really namby-pamby. Yeah, I don't really like any of that. This stuff just doesn't do it. Maybe Holy Mantle for our Boros Cruel thing. Anyway, let me get all these guys out here. And get all these guys back in. Got about 7 minutes, so got plenty of time for some tweaking here. Again, this is what we were pretty much looking at. I think it's okay. There's probably a little bit too much green in here for my taste, but I don't really know like what else I would put in there. Like, is there anything I could cut? Like, I like all of these creatures. Like, all these things are fantastic. These Halberdiers, the Warmind Infantry, the Shanktail, Scorched Walker, Cinder Elemental. Like, I like all these guys. We got some pretty decent Blood Rush here. We have a lot of Blood Rush, actually. I mean, a lot of it is, like, super, super cheap Blood Rush. And we do have a lot of red-white fixing. Like, we have all this. We have 4 dual ways to fix our mana, essentially. And we have some pretty decent stuff in the sideboard. Like, for a later game, we have the Zertos Swine. We have things like this Protector over here that we could possibly put in. Holy Mantle is definitely a thing as well. Let's see what it suggests for the add land. So 7/3/3, huh? So that would give us 7 white, 11 red. Really don't think we need that much red. Okay, I think I'd even feel safer like that, because that's 9 red, 8 white, and 4 green. 9 red, 8 white, and 4 green. And I think that's pretty good. A lot of our early guys, I mean, except for this Wojak Halberdiers at turn 2 and the Truefire Paladin are all singles. Like, all these Skinbrand Goblins are all just 1 in red. Syndic of Tithes, 1 in white. Slaughterhorns only need 1 green. Like, the only dual color necessity that we have here is this massive raid. So that's pretty good. And, like, Gruul Charm and Clan Defiance, like, these are really top-notch green cards, so I really don't want to get rid of those. Like, the only thing I might get rid of is, like, a Slaughterhorn for, like, a Towering Thunderfist. And even then, I'm not really sure I feel like all that impressed about doing that to myself. This guy's darn cool, too. I think this is what we're going to go with. Like, both these things here are really neat, but just the support that it had going on with it wasn't really that good. And like I said, if we have to swap into the late game Boros deck, I think we can do that because we have things like Night Watch, the Herbrus Protector. Guardian of the Gateless is not really what you want to be doing in Boros, but we have it. And I'm still trying to decide if I want to leave this Prophetic Prism out or not. Like if I want to put this in and just take a land out. And run like because basically if you do that, it's a 39 card deck. I mean, we have a really good chance at seeing a Clan Defiance. And that's pretty darn brutal. If we can dump some mana into that. I mean, like, those are mana dumps. We do have this Cinder Elemental, which is a mana dump. We have, like, a little teeny bit of Extort. Let's go with this. This is a little bit more greedy than like I normally do. Like I don't usually venture into a third color quite this hard, but I think this will be neat. I think we should give this a shot. We'll go ahead and submit this and see how we do for round 1. Rob's the Mtg Noob, and I'll see you guys then.